for you about iHercules. You know, the science team who created iHercules consider this to be an essential for every human being on the planet. Since we cannot get away from the fact that we've got toxins that we've polluted our planet with, tell us how iHercules can really truly make a difference in us.
You know, in looking at the top forms of organic food in liquid form through these plants that are grown in the Mediterranean mountain, therefore no contaminants in the soil that they're grown in. These people are like, I don't know, 150, 200 years behind us if you've ever been over that part of the country. I mean, they still got horse and buggy running down the road with a car. So, I mean, it's extremely, you know, well, first time I was over there, I was surprised that we had to wait for them, you know, pushing cattle across the mountain, you know, on the road. So,
and that's where they're growing these plants.
Yeah, that's where they're growing these plants, is in the mountain ranges.
Yeah.
And so there's not a smokestack of industry for 500 miles.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, their soil is good. It's not the contaminated environment that you're talking about. That you guys, we're the only country that still drops tons of atrazine, outlawed in Europe for what, 20 years?
Yeah.
Atrazine as an insecticide, pesticide. We're the only ones that dump tons of this stuff on the agriculture, and we continue to do it, even though it's been known and proven that it's carcinogenic.
Yeah.
Period. Okay, so are we going to get away from it? No. But how can we help the body in the best way? And that is the pull. That is the direction that we've been operating 5 years of vitamins, minerals, probiotics, fish oil, omega-3, D3 for the skin, for the sun damage, this and that. Whatever else you want, CoQ10, saw palmetto, prenatal vitamins, this is all based on what you just talked about. How can we balance out what the environment dictates through our food supply that we most know it's not the greatest. Okay, it's far from the greatest.
Yeah, far.
We do to supplement our diet so that we have a better chance of living healthy, maintain and increase our health. And what we've been told is that an apple of yesterday in the 40s, we need 20 of them today to reach the same capacity of nutrition. So we need to take this vitamin A. We need to take vitamin B for this reason, vitamin C for that, vitamin D for that, vitamin E for this reason. Okay? And at least that's an attempt. There is temporary benefit in that stuff, and it's been proven that some of those superfoods, different things, have temporary benefit. But my question is, the quality of the blood on a consistent basis is the key. So if I have the top parts of organic food in liquid form from these plants, that these scientists studied through watching people's blood, and it's grown in the right environment with no contaminant, doesn't have any chemicals, doesn't have any preservatives, no additives, no interaction with drugs.
And you're not saying these are the whole plants. These are, when you're saying top parts, you mean the most active, high-frequency, restorative molecules from those plants.
The top part of the molecules, like in the alfalfa plant or the celery plant, on the leaf, one leaf contains 160, 170 possible extract components. Which top 20 of those would be the best that the blood could recognize and utilize in the effectiveness of getting the body what it needs?
And that's what's in new extracts.
Yes, nobody's done that. Nobody has done that. They've taken alfalfa and just grind it all up and say, well, we extracted from the whole plant and here you go. Well, that's fine except for one thing. Is it pinpointed with enough focus to make the difference in a unique way? No. It has got food value, there's no doubt. But there's parts of it that would be more refined that could do a better job if it didn't have convoluted area where it was like, well, that's not as good. This is better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if I can just get here's the better parts to the body, guess what I don't need? I don't need as much. I don't need to strain that whole thing and drink a great big cup. I can do 4 sprays and get magnificent result over time without an indulgence of of a lot of volume, and the body's recognition of which parts would be better and which parts would not are not as good. Okay, so the body doesn't have to decipher that. I can spray it in the mouth, this extract, these top parts of organic food in liquid form, in my mouth.
Like this.
Yeah, yes, that's how simple this is. And you
I
know
love
what?
it.
Sometimes people say to me, they say, man, come on, 4 sprays, how's that gonna, I don't know, a pinch of cyanide kill you deader than the doornail. So is it true that little substances can make powerful influence within the body? Yes. I mean, absolutely. I'm sure you've seen pharmaceutical drugs that are very, very small. If you take too much of this stuff,
Right.
you can be in trouble. So it does those little bitty components like those 4 sprays make a huge difference in the body's mechanism through what the blood understands? Yes. So that's a point that I'd like to make. And you know, I have there is one other thing I wanted to ask. Okay, I wanted to ask you something.
Mhm.
Okay, I know you've been doing this a couple of years. I know that it's helped your family, and I would like for you to tell me, okay, so what is the difference that you've noticed between, and I know that you were like I was, in the vitamin, mineral, superfood world of, you know, we talked about one time about acai berry and having all these antioxidants and this, that, whatever. And I'm sure you've done it all, seen it all.
I have been in natural healing and energy medicine for over 50 years. Yes, I have done it all. My pantry better stocked than most health food stores. But this is what I'm doing now instead. So what was your,
Why?
because of how I feel.
Okay, here's the thing. What's the differences in what you noticed over 2 years from what you were doing for 50?
I was just taking stuff. I mean, I did well researched and all of that, the highest, best, you know, and I was still aging. I still had issues. And when I started with iHercules, everything started to change. It wasn't overnight, but gradually I got more energy. I got more mental clarity. My aches and pains started going away. I got fingernails. I never had fingernails in my life. Skin, hair, nails. Everything has gotten younger. And, you know, I do a lot of videos, and people have watched me over the last 2 years get younger. I'm going to be 74 next month. And my wrinkles went away with this. I mean, if that was the only thing that happened, I'd be doing this for life. But my sleep is better. My intuition is higher. I think it's my pineal gland's getting decalcified. I don't know. You know, just so many things. I'm happier. You know, when everything is open and flowing and nourished at a quantum level, everything gets better.
And that is, you know, you made the statement that's true. And here's the thing. If I'm going to play with this product, you know, I hear people tell me, they do tell me sometimes when I talk about this, I've got a big meeting on Friday with some people. They tell me, well, I'm going to try it. Well, what are you talking about trying it? This is food. This is food that the blood quality is affected by, which pertains to your life, pertains to reverse aging, pertains to, watch some of the other videos, and it's explained how this reverse aging happens by the blood being enhanced and now the immune system enhanced, and it grabs the fast aging cells out of the body. They're replaced by your own stem cells. And stem cell therapy is a big time topic right now. The problem is it coming from outside your body? Is it coming as they fortify and put it back in the body, which disrupts the chemical balance in the body, which can be destructive? Or is it coming from your own stem cells where there is no chance of any ill repercussion? None. I don't have any. There's no chance of side effect or problems if my body does the entire operation without what? Manipulation or altering.
Yeah.
So, you know, your explanation of it is exactly what I know to be the truth, because I've seen it evidenced in 10 years, 9 years of people and what happens when they give the body this what I call the most advanced nutrition gap support. instead of vitamins, minerals, superfood, this or that? Why not give the top parts of organic food in liquid form and achieve that without what? Confusion of research and what goes with this to make this possible for you. I don't have to do any of that.
This is so simple. You know, spray it in your mouth, it goes into your bloodstream, it opens up, inflammation goes away, the nutrition levels go up, everything gets boosted, your immune system, your stem cells. I mean, I don't know anything better.
Well, I'll tell you another one. You mentioned inflammation as the precursor to every problem we have, and I'll tell you what. One of the reasons that we've been on this avenue, 80, 85 years now, vitamins, minerals, fish oil, whatever new twist there is on it. I'll tell you why it has not made the effect that it should have on degenerative disease, cancer, heart disease, these big ones, these big killers.
Yeah, that's certainly not going down and going up.
Well, that's right. Those are going up. So if that avenue of vitamins, minerals, superfood, whatever, is the right avenue, why are the degenerative diseases? And you know what their answer is? People say, well, people are living longer. This is not correct. This is not correct. And I'll tell you why it's not correct. Because the reason is that vitamin, mineral, superfoods do not affect reduction of inflammation in the vascular like the top parts of organic food in real time do through subatomic activity of quality of blood that's affected by living cell plant material that fits the biocompatibility of the human cell perfectly. There isn't a vitamin superfood in the world does what I'm telling you, and thereby no reduction of inflammation in a short period of time. Therefore, what? Problems. And inflammation is the precursor to every problem.
Including aging.
Yes.
Get rid of inflammation and your body gets younger.
Yeah, everything. So that is the reason this is a better direction. And if you'll do it on a day, I was talking last night on the national call. My grandmother was, this was whenever I was young. She was avid. If you went to her house, you were going to take vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C wafers. You were going to take the vitamin E capsule. You were going to drink rose hips, the vitamin C in rose hips in liquid form. You were going to do this stuff because she had been told that was a better way to get what you don't get in your diet. She just knew that's all that was available. But I'm going to tell you something. I did that stuff at her house during the summers years. And you know what? I can tell you the truth. I never felt anything. People say, well, I've been doing this stuff for 2 or 3 months, and I did those vitamins from the time I was 5 to 15 when I stopped going to her house. I never felt anything, nothing. And yet I was doing it. She was buying it. She was spending money on it to maintain and increase her health and the health of the people she cared about all of my life. And the truth is, did it make any difference in in the degenerative diseases that are out? No, it did not. This is the way to do it. Now, if we can get the grandmas of the world to understand this is the better avenue and put this in their grandchildren's mouth, we can make a difference.
Well, that's what I'm doing. I've got a 1.5-year-old and a 2.5-year-old grandbaby that lives next door, and they get it every day. They get it every day. They had it during pregnancy and birth and through mother's milk, and now they get it on their food, and now they're in their mouth.
Kara, this is, I want to say this delicately, but I can tell you this. The only thing that feeds the baby in the womb is the mother's blood. That's it.
Yeah.
So if that's true, then what could be better than top parts of organic food in liquid form for the baby's system that fits their system just like the mother's, with perfect biocompatibility, perfect assimilation of these living cells of plants in this liquid? What would be better?
There is nothing better.
No. A prenatal vitamin or this substance that's the top parts of organic food in liquid form.
Our bodies were made for food. They were not made for all these supplements with all this artificial stuff in it that the body can't break down enough to use, and then has to figure out how to get rid of it when it can't use it.
That's about it. That is it.
This is so important. This is just so important. And it's the only thing you need. I mean, of all of the supplements and things, I'm not saying they're all bad. I'm just saying all the things I put in my body over these years, and so many of them, still have remnants there probably because it's hard to get rid of them. This goes right into my bloodstream and opens my blood and nourishes my cells in a way that absolutely nothing else can.
It's true.
And all these years in natural healing, I've got more than 20,000 people in my group that are using this. I'm seeing reversals in things I have never, ever seen before, because the body has what it needs. I've always believed, our bodies have the ability to heal anything if we give them what they need. And you know what? You are so right. This is it.
It is. That is the truth.
So if you're listening to this and you haven't started iHercules yet, go back to the person that shared this video with you, because they're using it, and ask them, because this is the most important thing you can put in your body. So Jim, thank you for that brilliant recourse about how this works.
Well, thank you for your rendition of what the differences are. So.
Hate choosing between vibrant jungles, a sweltering desert, and beautiful beaches? Then come to Turon, a beautiful, magical, mostly safe world of fantasy.
DigiCert Trust Lifecycle Manager helps you do what your organization needs PKI to do. Prevent outages, manage risk, and enforce policy. That's digital trust for the real world.
Oh, and my blood work is perfect. I forgot to say that, but I mean, that's the real deal.
That is the real deal. People have never gauged the inside of their body with blood work because people do not like hypodermic needles. Okay? Let's just face it, there's a lot of fear about that out here. People do not like needles, period. That's a proven thing. But the truth is, so we don't monitor our health by our blood. We only do our blood work whenever we're sick and the doctor says this blood work, that blood. But the truth is, that is the distinguishing factor of whether you're in good health or not. Show me your blood and I'll show you how healthy you are. So, this affects what? Blood quality through assimilation of plant material, living plant cell material, top parts of organic food for these living cells of the plant to the human body. And it goes with the oxygen that we take from them and carbon dioxide that they take from us. We have a correlation between us by God's design. If we take that food substance from the living cell of the plant, it fits our body perfect. And only the top parts are used, so we get the very best of the living cell of that plant. And it's a unique proposition for reverse aging with documented proof through a lab that's started by the people that won the Nobel Prize on the subject of telomere and reverse aging. And at the time, they were talking 2 to 5 years. You could reverse your age 2 to 5 years if you ate right and took the right supplements and exercised. And all we're telling you is that if you want to reverse your age 10, 20, 30 years, not 5, in the next 6 months to 2 years, you know, depending on your variables, depending on what you're doing with your activities, your daily life and stuff, because we don't know that, we don't live with you, then you can change the outcome and grow what? Biologic age reversal based on what the blood does, not what on the product does, but what the blood does. You know, and this elongation of telomeres, you know, and that's what's been talked about before, is how do we get the telomere to grow? That's what's been studied by this reverse aging before.
But
How
we
can we
don't.
take How
But
can
we
you
don't
take
make
your
it grow.
telomeres and do it? This is the subject matter that has been talked about up until now. The problem is that if you infuse telomerase, which is the agent that is causing this, if you do that, that is an eternal cell, and if you have any cancer activity in your body, mutation of abnormal cell activity, it can cause that to grow if you try to elongate the existing telomeres. If I use the blood and the blood gets clean enough and the immune system starts to grab fast aging cells at an accelerated rate, your stem cells will replace them. They already have the
And
telomere.
those stem cells are like baby cells. They're like brand new cells. So you're getting rid of the old aging cells and replacing them, your brain cells, your heart cells, your skin cells, with brand new baby cells with very long telomeres, which means very long
Which
life.
means reversal of
Totally.
biologic.
Yeah.
Reversal of biologic age on an astounding level of 10, 20, 30 years of reversal of the inside age. Nobody even, they wouldn't even have dreamed of that.
Well,
Because
I'm
they're trying to do it through manipulation and altering from outside fortification or altering or adjusting or whatever, or some kind of molecule, redox molecule that adjusts this or that. The truth is the blood is a better organism of a vehicle to make it happen because it understands every inch, every centimeter of the vascular and tissue component of the body structure. It understands every bit of it. If I start depending on an altering, adjusting, or enhancing, now I'm depending on scientific mind to figure out how to alter, how to change, how to adjust. What knows better, the scientific mind or God's blood design?
God's
We know
blood
the answer to that
design. Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. And when everything is open and flowing and nourished and cleaned, we could live forever.
it could,
Or-
hey, I can live a much more productive, happier, healthier life. Let's put it that way. You know, I can't stop things that happen, car accidents, this or that, whatever. But I can tell you this, that if I want a chance at a healthier, younger, longer life, then I need to get the blood quality up. The only thing that can do it is living cell plant material through these top parts of organic food and liquid form.
Amen. Well said. Thank you so much, Jim.
Thank you.
Call the person who shared this with you now. Bye now.